Hey besties, it's your girl Candy Capricorn here. We got something to talk about today, okay? And for those of you that are joining, thank you for joining on YouTube and Spotify. If you're on one and not the other, on Spotify it is Somebody's Gotta Say It, and YouTube, A Candy Capricorn World. And thank you to all of my besties that are joining live on TikTok for a behind the scenes view. And if you ever want to do that, you can go to Candy Capricorn on TikTok, and I do lives where you get to see the behind the scenes of me recording. So, yeah, let's do it. Let's get into it. So what we're going to talk about today, we got to talk about your girl, Amy Luciani. We got to talk about Amy, and we're going to talk about Royce. And we're going to talk about this wonderful video that she did. But first of all, let's clear a couple of things up. Because in the video, she talked about, of course, her husband. And she mentioned her children getting taken. So Amy doesn't have any children, and I'm going to play a clip for you where she explains that. But Amy has no biological children. So the children that she's referring to are the children from her marriage. So they're Dwight's children. From two that he does have custody of. One young man, because his mom passed, rest in peace, and all that, just sorrows and prayers. Okay, so he has custody of that, and a young his second daughter, if I'm not mistaken. He's got custody of Layla, and that's because he took Layla's mom to court, saying that she was posting inappropriate videos, and I guess the judge sided. So those are the two children that she's referring to when she says that her children got taken. All right, so I'm gonna show y'all this clip, just so you understand. You ain't gotta hear it from me. You know what I mean? Sometimes we say things and we make assumptions about things and people and all of that, and I don't want to be the person that does that, right? So we're gonna go here, and I'm gonna show you guys a clip where Amy kind of and this clip is gonna be from Love and Hip Hop, actually, because she was there first. I saw her there first, where she was dating an Atlanta rapper named Mozzie, right? And so she explains during this clip, she explains her situation with not being able to have kids, which is how we know that when she's referring to the children with Dwight, that she's not talking about her own biological children getting taken away. Which, yeah, I'll say something about that later. But okay, here we go. Let's do it.
I believe that this was my reality. So you're not shooting blanks. You've been asking for years. It was me.
Like, damn.
I just don't want to accept that none of that is my future, so I just decided to never share it with you. I just feel like you deserve to know.
Just the it is, it's like, I know this devastating for Amy, but I wish I would have knew some of this, because I would have been able to carry some of the weight with you. Because, you got this on your mind, you got this on your mind, and this on your mind that can cause a relationship to collapse. Now I see it may be more than just me.
It's hard. I can't even believe I just said it out my mouth. I gotta face it and I gotta accept it. Like, instead of why would God make me like this, instead I could be like, it might be a bigger reason why this is happening to me. But I'm actually ready to face the music.
Yeah, I'm behind you. Let's face it.
To see him respond in such a compassionate way, honestly, I'm looking at him in a much different light. Because I expected the response to be, you're a liar. What about all those times where we talked about having kids and why haven't you gotten pregnant yet? Like, he didn't talk about any of that. I just feel like so much weight just got lifted off of me.
So you ain't gotta just down yourself or beat yourself down about it.
Okay, so we see the whole situation with Mozzie, who was at that time Amy's boyfriend. And she's explaining the whole reason that that they hadn't been able to have children wasn't because of him, as they thought, but it was because of her. And that sucks for anybody, right? I sympathize with any woman that wants to be able to have children and hadn't been able to bear them. So it's absolutely not a situation where, oh, thank you for liking my live. It's absolutely not a situation where we're going to throw shade or anything, but we did need to clear up when she gets into this rant about her marriage and starts talking about losing her children. I do want to specify that she's very emotional, but these are not her biological children, and she's only been married to Dwight for roughly a year and a half. Okay. However, not to discredit a mother's love or a stepmother's love for her children, okay? But y'all know this goes down a really crazy rabbit hole. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into Miss Amy's rant online here.
It hurt me so bad to have to even protect myself in this type of way. My marriage has landed me in a very dangerous position. My stepdaughter was just taken by CPS because of her father. CPS and the police have been here 3 times in less than 3 months, and I stood in it with my husband, even though I was scared for my own self. Whatever he wanted me to say, whatever it was, I'm thinking this is my husband. I had everybody around me saying, even after I tried to divorce him the first time, everybody around me says, you can't leave your husband this soon. You said through sickness, through health, through this, you said through good or bad. That's why I came back, but this is going way too far. But it's not even about me, it's about the kids. The stuff that I have to go through with the kids, I have to be witnesses to. I'm in the police at the house. They ask me questions. I don't know how do I lie for my husband. I've never been married before. I'm in love with my husband. I don't want him to get in trouble, so of course I'll be his alibi, but this is going way too far. And now I'm getting mixed all in this. I have been with this man for 14 months. I cannot ruin my entire life for something that this person is doing. I just cannot do it. I tried to get so much help. I asked for counseling in our marriage. We went through 2 different counselors. When I say I love my husband, I don't want to leave my husband, but the positions he keeps putting me in, and it's all over nothing. I keep telling people he needs some help, y'all. I live with him. This is not him. This is not Dwight. This is trauma. This is everything he's been through, but just not the kids. I have to advocate for the kids. And I can't go down for what he's doing. So they took our daughter. And I'm just sitting there like, do I speak up? Do I be quiet? What do I do? But I caught this man. I caught this man forcing our 12-year-old son to cover for him, his son, to cover for him. He had him lying. I recorded it. He was coaching our son to lie on me, and I had to record it. And it's this shit. I try to tell everybody he needs some help. Ain't nobody wanna fucking listen because he got the money. I kept saying, whatever, y'all don't understand. I live with him. He needs some help. And this is it. This is what I'm fucking losing my fucking marriage to. This shit right here. I told everybody, y'all gotta help him. He is spiraling. I'm in here with him. I'm trying to love him through it. I was going to run out the door. I was going to leave him. But everybody told me, don't leave him. He's struggling. I stayed, but not this year. We got the police involved. EPS, you're lying on me. You making up alibis. You got our son, my stepson, lying. And thank God I recorded it. And he innocent in this, but you said just to protect yourself, you would take anybody out, including me, and I can't let you do it no more. I don't want to share the dirty secrets. I don't want to go out like how everybody else did this, man. But I got to protect myself now. I'm uncomfortable. Now, I don't know what is going to, I don't know. I'm uncomfortable. This man has the money. This man controls it all. And it's not about no money. I've been with this man for 14, 15 months. I never asked him for $1, nothing. I'm not on the credit cards. I just love him for him. But this shit is going too fucking far. And I'm so embarrassed that I gotta even I'm just like, I don't know what to do. When I heard my stepson being coached to lie on me, I gotta protect myself now. And I know it was supposed to be through sickness and health, but this shit is scary. why I'm losing my fucking marriage. Because the money, y'all didn't want to help him.
Okay, Miss Amy. First of all, can we talk about the fact that that's a lot of substance. We're gonna say substance because I don't know. That was a lot of substance. Again, I do want to say I'm talking about Amy Luciani's rant. Okay, here's the thing. She doesn't have children with Dwight, and she says that CPS took the children, and this is kind of what's making her act this way. I don't know. Is it given? Do you guys think? I'm just throwing it out there, but do you guys think that she had so much of the substance on her because maybe she's using too? I don't want to say that. I don't want to accuse anybody of anything. It's just that it's given. I don't know. I would assume if my husband was a big user like that, right? And I don't think he would be letting me walk around with that much of his stash. And it's in the car. I feel like he would be looking for it. Like, I feel like if he knew that she had it, he'd be like trying to break down the car door to get in there to stop her from showing God and everybody that he's got this much. And listen, I don't know much about crack or cocaine or whatever all of that stuff was, but that's like different. I don't know. All I know is it was a lot of it. I know that was a lot for personal use. So I don't know if he hosts parties too or what, but that was a lot. That was a lot for personal use. And maybe let's say that that's why CPS came, because she says that CPS took the children because of her. I mean, because of him lying on her. But what could he have lied about her? Unless he said that was her stuff. Unless he said, no, I don't use. My wife uses, and this is all of her stuff. And then coach the kids to say, yes, we've seen her use it. Yes, it's her. You know what I'm saying? I mean, maybe coach the kids that way. I don't know. But damn, Miss Amy. That was a lot. Okay, another thing that I want to get into is because we saw years ago, and I don't know how many of you guys were a fan of Basketball Wives. But we saw Royce Reed years ago. And even when we saw her on Basketball Wives, even then they didn't let it be known that she had a baby with Dwight. They pegged Royce as this plucky cheerleader who was trying to snag her a basketball husband, and almost the bane of the other lady's existence. Like, they pegged Royce as somebody that the rest of the women almost couldn't stand, because she was so she was a catch. She was young, she was fit, she was a cheerleader, she was fun and bubbly, and we didn't know that she had a whole relationship with Superman, right? We didn't know on the show when we watched it. So they really pegged her as like the problematic, like try to snatch your man type of girl. So I found out, Royce let us know why they did that, right? So apparently she was hit with a gag order. She couldn't talk or mention her child with Dwight. She couldn't talk about her relationship with Dwight. And apparently that was because it was on the heels of some abuse that she was suffering. And he didn't want that to come out. And not for nothing, there is a whole entity behind him that would not have benefited from that type of information coming out. So she says that she was even betrayed by her attorney, and he got her to sign an NDA and things like that behind her back. Well, she didn't know that what she was signing because she trusted him. And so this is the type of stuff she was saying. And this is a clip I want to play for you guys, okay? Where she kind of gives us a little bit of backstory. So we're going to hear from Royce now. We heard a little bit from Amy, and we'll go back. That was just the part one on her. But we'll go back to some more of Amy's rant in the car, which I wonder if it was not also brought on by a little bit of drug use as well. But anyway, so we'll do that. But I am going to play this for you guys. Little Miss Royce, who I'm so happy that she is now being vindicated. Because we did not know. They did try to peg Royce as crazy. They did try to peg her as problematic. They did try to peg her as wild and unruly. And the whole time, she couldn't speak or defend herself because they had a whole gag order in place.
It was do what you feel is best for you and your son. People have to say nothing biased. So I decide to work things out. As we're working things out, there are also conversations about a reality show. When I discussed it with him, he was all for it. He wanted to do it. He was excited about it. I told Shawnee, and easy sell. So during this time, we are working on our relationship. We are out in public. I mean, I'm going to the games. Our son is wearing his jersey. We had a Magic Dancer reunion. It was just a lot going on. I am buying a house. I am shooting a sizzle reel in Miami for the show. And that's when the verbal assault started. But I took my ass to LA and I went and I pitched that show to all those different networks, and I talked about how great of a relationship I was in, and I just knew I got it sold. I get back home and I find out that I have been cheated on with several women. All that I kept thinking in my head was, this man does not like to use condoms. I went off. I went to the clinic, I got tested, and I went off on Twitter. I mean, woo! I was letting his ass have it, y'all. Of course, he got pissed off, and we, broke up. And then a couple days later is when he comes by the house, and he's supposed to be picking up our son. He's mad because I would usually have a backpack and some of his favorite snacks at my house, but we're not together, so why the fuck would I have that? But anyway, obviously, he's in a bad mood, so I'm just trying to ignore his attitude. He's yelling in the house like, oh, I'm ready to go, and where's his bag? And I'm like, it's in the closet. He goes to the closet, and I'm asking him like, yo, you good? Like, you okay? Because you acting real strange. He turns around and proceeds to tell me how stupid and useless I am, how I'm worth nothing, how nobody will ever want me, no man is ever going to want to be with me, how I'm the best that he could ever get, I'll be back, all these things. That's when I go into the family room and I tell his friend, like, yo, get your friend. He acting crazy. Like, what's wrong with him? And he comes out. That's when he grabs my hair, flings me into the entertainment center. Same thing with our son. I told this story in part 3. I don't really want to have to rehash it. But before they left, obviously his friend is saying, hey, man, stop. That's a female. But he's still screaming and calling me every name besides the one I was given. They then pick up our son and they leave. I'm now left to have this conversation about what just happened with my goddaughter. After that, I then had to pick up our son from his house. And I'm sorry, y'all. I do not know why I laugh or smile when I'm telling my trauma. I don't know. I'm so sorry. I know it looks weird. I know it looks crazy. I don't know if it's a coping mechanism. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm trying. I don't know why I do that. But they leave with our son, and like I said, I have to now go and pick him up from his house after this visitation, and I'm in his room, and that's when the knife situation happened. It should also be noted that prior to me going to pick up our son, we had a few conversations, and I forgave him again. So I get to the house, and he asked me to come into his room. I go, he closes the door, and he pulls a knife out on me. He says, I could really kill you right now and claim self-defense, and they would believe me because everyone loves me here, and they hate you. To attempt to rewrite history is crazy because those of you who were at the house that day know exactly what happened. But maybe that hypnotism did work. So he comes over to the house about a week or so later, and we're hanging out with our son, watching a movie in the family room. Remember, we're trying to work things out. And I go to the bathroom. When I come out the bathroom, he's in the bedroom. He wants to have sex. I say, no, my cycle is on. He says he wants head. And I say, no, our son is right there in the other room. He proceeds to get up. He shuts the door. He comes over to me and he pushes me down to the floor like he did before. And he proceeds to ram his waist into my face. If you can imagine what that feels like, think about someone punching you in your nose at 6'11", 200 pounds, and their pants are still on. Think about that happening over and over and over again to you. You're now in tears. Your son is in the next room. You've already basically been told that you're hated by your hometown, so call the police. On Superman? Clark Kent? Baby Jesus of Orlando? No, you can't do that. Okay, so that situation happened, and that is what ultimately led me to leave the relationship. Not soon after that, the show got picked up. And that's when contracts started going around and our attorneys started speaking with each other. And because I was still signed on to do the show and he was not, they were concerned about what I was going to say on the show. So they were like, well, we just want to make sure that she doesn't say anything bad about him because of his career, and we don't want any type of, defamation. And of course, I'm like, well, is it defamation if it's true? But okay. And then it was also me saying, well, I don't plan on that being my storyline. I don't have to talk bad about him. I don't really have to talk about him at all. The next day, my attorney calls me to his office and he's like, hey, you need to get here as soon as possible. I need you to sign this agreement. And I was like, what agreement? He said, the agreement about what we talked about yesterday with you and Superman. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I get in my car, and I think I was even at the park because I was close. But I get to his office, and it's not even 4:50 yet. It's like 4:40 something. And he's like, sign this agreement. So I'm looking at it first. I'm trying to at least skim it. And he goes, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just checking I'm supposed to read everything. So he says it's basically the conversation that we had, a couple days prior, just in writing. I said, okay. I signed the paper. I trusted him to my detriment. He then goes, hurry up, we gotta go. I'm like, okay. So we're rushing out the office. I'm right behind this man, and we go to get in the car. He's like, what you doing? I was like, you said we gotta go. And he was like, well, not you. I was like, what do you mean, not me? He was like, you're not dressed appropriately. I had on an orange tank top and jeans and sneakers. This man went to court, and rather than me not be there for the judge to ask me if I knew what I was signing, for the judge to go through the different provisions of what that agreement said, and me have to agree to it, my attorney did that. You want to know what that agreement said? That I could not say his name, any type of insinuation, his middle name, nobody in his family's name, his friend's name. I couldn't even say my son's name, y'all. And if anybody in the room was even talking about him, I would have to leave. And it said not till death, but till death and the end of time. That attorney later withdrew as my attorney, but there's a new agreement in place, which trumps.
All right, so we find out that after all this is going on with Royce, there's a new agreement in place that trumps the old agreement, the non-disclosure, which means she can now talk. Okay, she can now speak out. She does not specify what this new agreement is, but whatever it is what gives her the ability to now tell us all of the stuff that she is telling us. And so I don't know what that agreement is. It might just be a big FU, like, I'm tired of this, do what you got to do, because once the truth is out, you don't have a leg to stand on, type of thing. I don't know. But the crazy thing about the contract is, and we're starting to hear this a lot more, especially with the Epstein files and things like that, we're starting to hear this until the end of time thing a lot more, right? So she says that in the non-disclosure, in that she was tricked into signing, that it says she cannot speak about him, his family, anybody's names, not even his son's name, any of that from death, like from now until death, and then until the end of time. Why are people putting that in contracts? And it seems like it's only happening with like celebrities and stuff. What is this until death and until the end of time? Does that mean your ghost can't come back and say something? Like, even if you die, you can't from beyond the grave whisper this man's name? Like, I don't understand, but that's just a little eyebrow raise, because what y'all doing? What you mean death and then the end of time, right? I don't know. Maybe they believe in reincarnation and it's just like not in this life or the next. Maybe that's the kind of thing. But okay, so we got a little backstory here on Royce and how her time in Basketball Wives kind of started. And it definitely started really quick with a good non-disclosure agreement from her own attorney, crazy enough. But yeah, that's kind of the way that went. I want to say this. I do sympathize. My heart does go out to Amy for what she might be going through. But y'all, I'm gonna play this other clip of Amy with this big bag of dust. I'm gonna say dust. I'm gonna call it dust, but I'm gonna play this other clip of Amy with all of this, y'all know what it is. All of the powder. And y'all tell me what y'all think, okay? In the comment section. You guys let me know what you think, because it's given she might be a bit of a user. It's given she's really familiar with, I don't know. I don't use crack, cocaine, any of that stuff. I would not touch it. It seems like I'm scared that the addiction starts like when you look at the bag directly. As soon as you look at the bag, like you might get addicted then. I don't know. I wouldn't touch it. But she's all in the bag, dust everywhere, all over her hands, digging in it, dripping off her hands, dusted it off all over the place. So to me, it's giving she's way more familiar with it than we know. You know, I don't want to pass judgment, but I'm gonna let y'all see for yourself. I just feel like no, she might be way more familiar with it than we realize, right? So yeah, I'm gonna let y'all see it for yourself. We'll see what Miss Amy has going on here. Here we go with another part to this car rant. Y'all tell me what you think.
Listen, cause he got the money. I kept saying whatever, y'all don't understand. I live with him. He needs some help. And this is it. This is what I'm fucking losing my fucking marriage to. This shit right here. I told everybody, y'all gotta help him. He is spiraling. I'm in here with him. I'm trying to love him through it. I was going to run out the door. I was going to leave him. But everybody told me, don't leave him. He's struggling. I stayed, but not this year. We got the police involved. CPS, you're lying on me. You making up alibis. You got our son, my stepson, lying. And thank God I recorded it. And he innocent in this, but you said just to protect yourself, you would take anybody out, including me, and I can't let you do it no more. I don't want to share the dirty secrets. I don't want to go out like how everybody else did this, man. But I got to protect myself now. I'm uncomfortable. Now, I don't know what is going to, I don't know. I'm uncomfortable. This man has the money. This man controls it all. And it's not about no money. I've been with this man for 14, 15 months. I never asked him for $1, nothing. I'm not on the credit cards. I just love him for him. But this shit is going too fucking far. And I'm so embarrassed. And I gotta even I'm just like, I don't know what to do. When I heard my stepson being coached to lie on me, I gotta protect myself now. And I know it was supposed to be through sickness and health, but this shit is scary. This is why I'm losing my fucking marriage. Because the money, y'all didn't want to help him. I tried to tell everybody he needs some help. And ain't nobody want to fucking listen because he got the money. I kept saying whatever, y'all don't understand. I live with him. He needs some help. And this is it. This is what I'm fucking losing my fucking marriage to. This shit right here. I told everybody, y'all gotta help him. He is spiraling. I'm in here with him. I'm trying to love him through it. I was going to run out the door. I was going to leave him. But everybody told me, don't leave him. He's struggling. I stayed, but not this year. We got the police involved. CPS, you're lying on me. You making up alibis. You got our son, my stepson, lying. And thank God I recorded it. And he innocent in this, but you said just to protect yourself, you would take anybody out, including me.
Yeah, she keeps sniffing her hands.
I don't want to share the dirty secrets. I don't want to go out like how this man. But I gotta protect myself now. I'm uncomfortable. Now, I don't know what is gonna, I don't know. I'm uncomfortable. This man has the money. This man controls it all. And it's not about no money. I've been with this man for 14, 15 months. I never asked him for $1, nothing. I'm not on the credit cards. I just love him for him. But this shit is going too fucking far. And I'm so embarrassed. And I gotta even I'm just like, I don't know what to do. When I heard my stepson being coached to lie on me, I gotta protect myself now. And I know it was supposed to be through sickness and health, but this shit is scary.
She keeps showing this rock This okay, so do y'all see how Amy says that it's all Dwight, it's all Dwight, but the only person that I see with anything, with any substance is her. And she's got vials, she's got bags, and then she's got crack rocks. Am I saying that right? Is it crack rock? Like, oh my God, I don't even know. But when I tell you the amount of cringe that I had watching this, simply because of how she just was like, just everywhere. It was just like, oh my God, we're watching her crash out. And I get it. She's saying that, the Whites lied on her. He's coached the kids to lie on her. CPS has been to the house a couple of times that month, and that they're taking the children from her. So I get it, but I'm sorry. I'm so nervous for Amy, you guys. I'm nervous for Amy in this moment. However, that's on her. I mean, she's a grown woman. And she doesn't have, I could see her being kept there or being so distraught if she legitimately had kids in this particular situation. But the kids that she's crying about aren't her biological children. They're not her babies. They were there before she got there, and she has no other option than to leave them when she leaves. So I don't understand the amount of, I don't know, I don't understand why she's crying so much behind these kids. And that's not to sound insensitive. I'm a bit confused. And then for Layla especially, because if I'm not mistaken, the youngest boy's name is David. His mom passed away, unfortunately. But where's Layla's mom? If all of this is going on, maybe she's been hit with the same NDA as Royce and she can't say anything. I don't know. But it just feels like Layla's mom would maybe speak up too, if all of these accusations are valid, right? Okay, so poor Amy. I hate to see her crash out like this, but once this aired, you guys, I saw this from saw this from Royce once this aired, and yeah, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play this one because Royce had something to say about it, about how she felt. So yeah, let's do that.
So you just don't think any of us fell for the antics either, right? None of us fell for the narcissism. Are you fucking crazy? You called me crazy, right? You said I was jealous. You said I wanted him. And now it's because of what he does to people. Shit. See? And people will believe it because I'm baby Jesus. Girl, shut up. It's everybody else's fault.
Okay, so Royce listen. Finally, Royce is being vindicated for all of the stuff that she has been trying to tell us about this gentleman, about this guy. Okay, so she's been trying to tell us this about Dwight for a long time, but every time she starts to speak out, she gets hit with lawsuit. She gets hit with, all kinds of cease and desist and gag orders and things. So finally, with Amy speaking up in her crazy rant, Royce is vindicated. And we finally get to find out the truth. I did not know that Royce was Dwight Howard's first baby mama. Like, I had no clue that she had anything to do with this man. Years ago when we saw her on Basketball Wives, you guys, I had no clue. And now we're finding out why we had no clue, that she wasn't able to legally discuss him, discuss her child, discuss her relationship, discuss his family, discuss his friends. Like, she couldn't say any of these things, which is why I think they also pegged her as like the woman stealer on Love and Basketball. I'm on Love and Basketball, Lord Jesus, on Basketball Wives. Okay. And if y'all remember Basketball Wives, did you guys get the same kind of vibe? Like, they really pegged Royce in Basketball Wives as like the man stealer. Like, she was the one that everybody had to look out for. Here comes Royce. And Royce showed up sweet and cute and bubbly. But because we already had seen that narrative, because we had already had that narrative placed in our minds about her being the man stealer, being the fun, flirty, cheerleader, I really thought, I really was like, oh, here comes Royce. I liked her as a person, but I could see the kind of cringiness the other women had with her. And now it's just like, shame on you guys, right? Like, putting this young lady through all of this. But now she's vindicated and she gets to talk about it. And yeah, I guess we're all going to sit back and watch. So Amy releases another clip. This clip that Amy released is of her talking to her stepson about how he was coached to lie to CPS about her. So I'm going to play this clip for you guys too. Because again, I'm just serving tea. Okay, it's not my job. Y'all go research this stuff. This is what they're telling me, so I'm gonna tell y'all that's about as far as it goes. I'm just here to serve y'all the tea. But I'm gonna play this clip because she talks to the son, David, about being coached to lie on her. So I don't know. Maybe Amy brought her own receipt. Okay, it don't help that she had that whole bag of cocaine. Yeah. What's pure cocaine? Like everybody say, is that pure cocaine? Like it was so white and powder. I don't know. But I just would assume that she would have the best of the best stuff, right? Even anyway. All that being said, and maybe that's why she was crying. She was crying because she gonna have to leave this man and leave the product. She ain't gonna get good product no more. Cause I'm pretty sure they married and all of that stuff, and he does that much. Y'all not gonna convince me that she hadn't tried it. That's I'm gonna say it. Okay, you're not gonna convince me that she hadn't tried. Anyway, let me play this clip for y'all because Amy said he lied on me, and then she gave us receipts. So I'm here for it, Amy. I love how you show up, girl. Show up with your receipt. So this is her talking to David. Again, all of this is from Amy's page and Royce Reed's page. So you guys can look those up and see these videos for yourself.
You don't have to hide from me or run from me. I miss Amber. I'm going to be in this room, killed, sent to prison. You can. Yeah. So you must always tell the truth. Yeah. Telling the truth about you lie, how you made them lie. I'm not mad at you for lying. And I love you.
Oh, baby. So in this clip, you see Amy talking to the little boy, to David, and she's saying, I'm not mad at you. I understand that you were coaxed to lie on me. Somebody told you to lie on me, whatever. And then you hear Dwight calling for David. Oh my God. How creepy is that? But Amy, girl, A1 on the receipts, baby. I love how you showing up with your receipts. You did all of that in the car, and you said you ain't gonna let nobody call you crazy like they called Royce crazy. You gonna go ahead and let us know and let us see. And I'm here for it. I appreciate that, girl, because I didn't know how much what he was gonna lie on you about. Like, you know what I'm saying? Why CPS only coming when you got there? But she showed us. That little boy said, yes, I'm sorry. She said, I'm not mad at you. And then you hear Dwight, David. And then you hear, yeah, we talking about how you had him lie on me. What in the world? If that ain't worse, if that ain't bad enough, she made sure to go ahead and get the other baby too. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you this other video because Amy, baby, I guess Amy ain't the one you do dirty. Because even in the middle of her crash out, she got receipts. So even if you don't believe her crash out, she makes it her business to go ahead and you ain't got to believe me, but you can believe these receipts. So she gave us the post about the little boy. We don't see the little boy. We just hear her talking to the little boy, and we hear Dwight Howard in the background, right, calling for David. Now David is the young man whose mom passed away, so Dwight has full custody of him. And Layla is his second daughter, I believe. Maybe his first. Don't quote me on that. But he has two. And Layla is, I believe, it's the youngest daughter who he also has custody of. Apparently, he took her mom to court saying that she was posting inappropriate pictures, and he won that. So I don't know what pictures those were. Y'all will have to look that up though. But I'm going to play this one for you too, because Amy made sure to get us a little snippet of everybody. I'll show y'all this other post where she shows Dwight closing himself in the room with his daughter. Yeah, I'm just on top of everything that has gone on this year. This is not what I needed. I'll be honest with you. It's like I didn't need this, especially with all of the things that that Mr. Howard, that Dwight has been accused of. Okay, I didn't need this, but here we go.
And I'm gonna record it all.
This is why I'm losing my fucking marriage. Because the money, y'all didn't want to help him.
Hold on now, Amy girl. What you mean nobody wanted to help him? And framing her. What would Dwight Howard be doing in his daughter's room? that she would assume that his wife would assume that he's framing her. Again, the first baby mother, Royce Reed, brings up information about Dwight being essayed as a child and him touching their son, allegedly. I have to say allegedly because I wasn't there. I don't know. But this is what she said. And there was a whole police report, a whole thing filed. Like, Royce had to go to court because her son that she shared with Dwight sexually assaulted another child. And she went to court because they sued her. They penalized her. And Royce said, it's not me. His dad has done this to him, and I've been trying to get help, and nobody will listen. Nobody cares because it is Dwight Howard, because it is Superman, because he is a man's man, and nobody is hearing me when I say that this man has touched his son, my child, that he needs help, that I need help, that my son needs help. Nobody is listening. So when this young man did what he did to someone, and I'm not going to get into that. We're talking about children, okay? So I'm not going to get into that. But when this young man did what he did to this other child, Royce took to the internet because she was just like, nobody's listening and nobody will help me. And now they took her to court. They took her to court and they said that it must have been men that she had around him, or it must have been something that she had been doing to her son. Yeah, she got fined and sued and all kinds of stuff. And she was screaming at the top of her lungs that it was his own father that had done something to him. But nobody listened because it's Dwight Howard, it's Superman. He's a man's man. We all love him. He wouldn't do anything like that. It must have been you and your whorish ways and all of the many men that you've had around you. And again, this is sad because that was definitely kind of the way they treated her on Basketball Wives. And she wasn't able to say anything about it or speak up against it or talk about it because she had been tricked into signing the non-disclosure. So, you guys, this rabbit hole is wild, okay? And what I will say is, I hate what Amy's going through. I hate whatever the suffering is that these children are dealing with at the hands of either this drug or this man or his own trauma. I hate all of that. But, and speaking of, I'm going to stop just saying that. I actually have a clip of Royce telling us what exactly what happened, girl. You know, it ain't no need in me trying to tell these people's stories for them when they tell it so well. I don't need to. I shouldn't about it here. Let's show you this one. Okay. So apparently Royce goes on live and she's talking about the whole thing with Amy. She's really just telling her truth now, what she can finally do, because she says there is some contract in place that trumps the NDA that she had before, right? The non-disclosure, the thing she couldn't talk about, all this, the gag order, everything. And there's some new contract in place that trumps that, and now she's able to speak on it. So apparently she goes on live and she's just talking, telling her story. And somewhere in the live, Dwight Howard and his sister join and they comment in the live. Now, when they do this, Royce doesn't see anything. Her fans let her know after the fact that they jumped onto the live and they made some comments. So she goes back to the internet and she records this post where she airs them out even more. Okay. So let me give it to you without further ado. I mean, because far be it from me. You understand? Far be it for me to try to tell people stories from them. You can't tell anybody's story for them better than they can. You know? So I'm gonna go ahead and let Royce speak for herself. I mean, you ain't got to trust me. Don't trust me. What they say? Y'all, I used to work in biopharmaceuticals, right? In biopharma. And one thing they always tell you is trust, but verify. Baby, so you ain't gotta trust me. You can trust me, but you verify. Because, you know, people ain't nobody perfect. So I'm going to help you verify.
Okay? So when you're dealing with a family who has had assault and molestation in their family, and they hid it. They went to church. Heal my son. Okay? And it was a half brother, so it wasn't the mother's son, it was the father's older son. But finding out this stuff, and I've heard it before, but I didn't hear it necessarily in depth when he was crying on my shoulder about things that had happened to him and his sister. I kept it. But then when it started happening more and more and more, and now you're trying to basically be quiet and you're trying to act like it didn't happen. There was an entire interview that was done about this brother and how much he loved him and everything. You go on Google or you go on Bing or whatever these little search engines are, you don't see them. You don't see them at all. All those stories have been wiped clean. So when people tell you that something is on the internet, or when something is on the internet, it's on there forever, that's a lie. Money can get removed, okay? There is not one story about that brother anymore. But yes, that is a brother that did his sister for years, and they still sent her to spend time with him during the summer. The only time that that brother went to jail was when he met his own daughter, and she told. People are mandated reporters. Okay? He had done to the brother, him, his sister, none of that, because they believe God can handle it. All right? So for 5.5 years, my child was and I knew it. Threatened the nanny. Well, let me not say threatened, because like I said before, I promised her if I found out that she was doing something to my child, we're going to have a problem. When I found that out, what happened? I get ghosted, y'all. I now know nothing. Sister and him coming on my live yesterday and commenting.
Okay, so now we find out what triggered Royce to go ahead and air out the Howard's dirty laundry as it pertains to a potential essay that happened to him and his sister when they were younger at the hands of his half brother. Okay, so I know I've been saying this the whole time, but yeah, y'all better fact check. Y'all check me. I'm not gonna say nothing that I can't tell y'all, show y'all where I got it from, whatever. This is what Royce is saying now that she's finally able to kind of speak out, now that she finally has kind of a voice since Amy Luciani has gone online and showed us the substances that Royce has been accusing Dwight of using or having all of this time, and nobody was trusting her. Nobody was believing her. Everybody was. We love our sports, you guys. We love our men in sports, maybe to a fault, because this is crazy. This is crazy. Or is it that we love the money that these men make for us? Because let's be honest, we enjoy watching them play basketball. We enjoy watching them play football. We enjoy watching them play hockey. But the moment that something happens that might jeopardize our Sunday night, we turn a blind eye. Okay, and let's be honest, that's not so much the women, is it? That's not so much the women. This is the men. And you guys, come on. Nobody is beyond reproach. Everybody has something going on. Everybody grew up. They had a childhood, and they're susceptible to things happening. So unfortunately, Royce kind of aired it out that allegedly Dwight had to suffer some things in his childhood that may very well be affecting his adulthood now. And it may have a lot to do with the SA allegations and a lot to do with the drug abuse and usage. And she's been calling out for help since day one, and they have pegged Royce as crazy. And if you notice, her being the first baby mama and him having about 5 others, none of these other women have spoken out and said anything. None of his other Dwight Howard's baby moms, even now in this moment when Amy Luciani is speaking out and saying, hey, this man's a liar, this man cheats, this man does all of these things. He's using drugs, he's pitting the kids against me, he's coaching them to say certain things about me. When all of this is going on, at no point in time are any of these other baby mamas speaking out and saying anything. So my question is, I wonder what arrangement is in place that these women aren't as vocal as both Royce and Amy have been. And I will say, Miss Amy, maybe you owe Miss Royce an apology, baby. Because as much as you wanted to peg her as jealous, as wanting your life, as crazy, as delusional, as much as you wanted to peg her as all of that, and as much as she is really feeling like, gotcha, gotcha, as much as she's feeling like that, her story validates yours and your story vindicates hers. And maybe you guys need to come to Jesus moment, because you've suffered at the hands of this man in the public eye, in front of God and everybody. So maybe there's something to be said for these women. Listen, when y'all get married, or when you're dating a man and he wants to peg the other woman, the ex, the baby mama, the ex-wife, as problematic, as crazy, as all of these things, and even if she may be acting that way, y'all give her some grace. One woman to another, because that woman been through some stuff with that man to get there, and there, but for the grace of God, go you. We see it only took Amy. Now, mind you, Royce has had a child with him, 15, 18 years? Amy can't do a year and a half. Amy can't even do a year and a half bid. She's losing it in the car, pretty much bathing in cocaine, right? She can't even do a year and a half in it, drowning in cocaine in the car, cocaine and tears. Sounds like a good song. Cocaine and tears, baby. Go ahead. Anyway, that's all the tea I got for y'all today. That's the end of this little episode. But thank you guys for rocking with me. I absolutely appreciate it. You guys have been absolutely wonderful and amazing. And this has been my podcast. Join me next time. Love you. Bye.